Before I get started on the actual painting techniques that we used, I wanted to talk a little bit about the construction of the set itself. So we built the set primarily out of, you guessed it, foamular. This material is really popular with set builders and Halloween haunted house builders because it's relatively inexpensive and it's fairly easy to come by. In fact, Home Depot sells 4x8 sheets of this for about $20 to $30 depending on the thickness. It really is pretty easy to obtain. It's also pretty easy to work with. We used a hot knife in order to cut the foam to shape. This is a hot knife by Demand Products, and I strongly recommend that you pick up one of these if you're going to be working a lot with foam. It is much cleaner and easier to cut foam with a hot knife than it is with an actual saw. A lot cleaner. And I recommend that you pick up, this was actually about $150, which seems a little expensive for such a simple tool, but I really recommend you pick up a better quality one, something like this, because if you pick up just a little $14 one down at the discount tool store, it'll burn out really quick. This has variable heat on it and really did its job really well, made everything really easy, and believe me, it was worth every penny. So the rest of the set was made out of just traditional styrofoam. And in fact, this is styrofoam that I picked up on Craigslist. There was a demolition project going on and they had a bunch of styrofoam installation and needed someone to haul it away, so I got it all for free, which was really nice. So what I did was I took the individual pieces and I glued them together using this Great Stuff Big Gap Filler. This is traditionally used as insulation as well. It expands to fill cracks and holes in walls, and just happens to work really well when bonding the foam together. It works both for the traditional styrofoam and for the foamular as well. So that's what I used. Those are the materials that I used, and really made it quite easy to actually build the set. So these big stone pieces right here are actually the traditional styrofoam. I used traditional styrofoam for this because I wanted the texture that the styrofoam gives. Foamular tends to, so here's a foamular right here. It has a much thinner grain. So it's better for use if you've got like a thinner grained stone that you want to represent, like sandstone or something. This, I wanted kind of what looked like big pieces of granite, which has a much larger grain, so I used the traditional styrofoam for this. I just ended up cutting the styrofoam, shaping it with a hot knife, using some sandpaper. Here you can see the hot knife. I used it to kind of put some big gashes in it, and then I just glued it to the back right here. So I used that big gap filler in order to glue it to the actual foamular set itself. Here you can see that's still pink on the side here. So that's kind of the basic construction. We used 1/2-inch foamular and just routed it out with a regular Dremel tool. Did all the routing, used a hot knife and sandpaper in order to get some of the gashes and stuff like that. Like here's a pretty good gash that came about. That was from the hot knife. Really didn't take very much time at all to put that particular piece together.